All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's money game show. Yeah, welcome. How you doing? How was your week? I'm fine. As for me, I'm fine, and my week went very well. All right, so once again, welcome to the money game show. This is the 29th episode of the money game show, and we've had 28 other episodes before this. I mean, this is 29th. Next week is going to be the 30th. Oh my God, it's been 28 episodes down, and in those 28 episodes there are a lot of things you can learn. If you have not watched any of them, if you did not attend them live and you've not come back to rewatch it, you are wrong. You are so wrong. You need to go back and rewatch it. Among those 28, we have had Instagram ads, Facebook ads, content writing, content creation, copywriting, social media management, ghostwriting, TikTok leads, mention it. Everything is there. And these are not, they were all hosted by professionals in their field. You want to check them out, you want to check those episodes out. And to access them, simply click on the live session on okay, by when you as you're on YouTube now, or rather go to the homepage of Digistem's channel and then click on the live session, LIVE. Just click on it and then you'll be able to see previous um all previous episodes before this one. Okay, and if you're new here, yeah, welcome to the Money Game Show yet again. This is a show where Digistem hosts different professionals to teach you a skill or two that can make you a lot of money in the online space. So that is the basic goal of this show, to make you a lot of money. Without wasting so much of our time, I would like us to get straight into tonight's meeting, tonight's teaching. Tonight we're going to be learning about the ultimate Amazon KDP, and to take us into the next session we have Mr. Sylvester. He would be telling us a lot of things, will be teaching us a lot of things about Amazon KDP. Over to you, Mr. Sylvester.
Thank you so much for the introduction. And I want to also say it's a very good thing that we have something like this and people who actually organize stuffs like this, because sometimes we don't just accept invitations to come and teach things. We accept invitation knowing that the people who are inviting us are capable of getting those materials out and reaching as much people as possible. So it's a very good thing because we know that what we're seeing is what people are actually going to start implementing. And if they're seeing results from it, that's a plus on our side, because we've not just talked about what we know. Someone somewhere has taken action with it and is seeing results. So that's one of the things I love about what I do sometimes. So thank you so much for the programs you guys arrange every time. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let me know if and when my screen comes on. Is the screen on now?
Not yet. It's not on yet.
My screen is supposed to be up. Um,
Mm, no,
so I'll
it's
stop
not. It's
sharing
not
and I'll
on.
share again just to make sure.
All right.
Are you able to tell me if it's up now?
It's not up yet. It's still
If it's not, I'll
blank.
just go on.
This is how it is showing at the moment. So now it's not up.
Okay. All right. I'll just go on with the stuff.
All right.
So Welcome to Amazon KDP. And this is obviously the money game show organized and hosted by Digitstem, where they bring people to teach you. I don't need to do a second introduction because she has said it all. So, in this session, I'm going to be unloading things that I know about Amazon, the things that have made me money over the years, and the things that have also made the students of Amazon KDP for all devices money over the years. I'm not really a social person, so I'm not always on social media looking at, but I'm sure that if you go on Twitter, you see a lot of testimonies. And for our students, we also have a dedicated Telegram channel for testimonials, just so that we know that the things that we're teaching, the things that we're impacting are working for the people who are learning it. So that is what I'm going to be giving you in this session. And some of the things that I'm going to be giving you here are premium knowledge, things that I've tried personally. That is where the knowledge comes in. So you try. You fail, you get errors, but then along the line, you figure out what works. So you teach the experience that you've encountered throughout your trial and error moments. And that is what comes into be an authoritative type of uh, line that when people follow, they're going to get exactly to where you've gotten yourself to. So in this session, we're going to be talking about Amazon KDP, and there is no time to start, but to I like to outline what you're supposed to be getting from this session so that you'll be realistic about the things that you'll be getting out of this. So we're going to be defining what Amazon KDP is, and we're also going to be defining who Amazon KDP is for, because you need to know if this is for you. If you spend your time watching a video that is 30 minutes long, an hour long, and then you find out that this is not a good fit for you, that is a blatant waste of your time. So we need to figure out who this is for, so that we'll make sure that you're getting the content that you know is for you. And then we're going to be talking about research, and we're going to be talking about topic niche research, just to make sure that this is what is going to be giving you money. Research is a very big part of it, but it shouldn't scare you, because as tedious as it sounds, it's not that hard, because the internet, the AIs that we have now, the tools that is available to us has made things very, very easy. And when I say easy, I'm not saying it's simple, but it's easy to do these things. And we're going to be talking about content sourcing. And one of the big part of the Amazon KDP that I teach is we don't exactly write what we publish, right? We get contents, we source for contents, and we get these things published without penning any single thing down, because I don't have a knowledge about most of the things that I publish, but I have basic ones. So if I'm publishing something about being a happily married person for this particular person, and I need to have a basic knowledge of it. And of course, I am married. I have a wife, and I know the experience that I have as a husband and what it is, what it entails to be a husband. So I can talk on that topic right from experience, and this helps me to validate the ideas that I source from other places, like using AIs or any other thing that we're going to be talking about in this particular session. And then we're going to be talking about design. So I'm going to be taking it one step at a time, because it is something that you need to do step by step. You can't jump from step one to step four, and you can't jump from step two to step five. You're going to find a big gap, and you're going to say that you're making a mistake. So we're going to be taking it step by step. So we're going to find the niche, the topic that we're going to be publishing on, and then we're going to source our content, and then we are going to talk about formatting. And this is what I see a lot of people making mistakes with, because you need to be very careful about the content you put out. In as much as we publish with pen names and stuff, and you can publish two different books with two different pen names, it still doesn't disregard the fact that it's all in your account. So if you're getting a negative review from here, inadvertently is going to affect your other books, because they are in the same account, regardless of them having two different pen names. So formatting your book is a big aspect of Amazon KDP, because you need to have the interiors right, both the size, both the type of fonts, how you format it is very important. And then we are going to be talking about book design. And you're going to see the psychologies behind designing books that get clicks. A lot of times I've seen folks who write a very good book and they end up giving it a trash cover that when you see as a person that uploaded the book, you wouldn't even want to click it. So why would you want someone else to click on it? So there are psychologies, there are things that you need to do, there are tools that you need to employ to get the cover to be up to standard as much as the interior or content of your book. We're going to be discussing that. And then we're going to be discussing about pricing strategy. If I have a book that is selling for 14.99 and this person has a book that is selling for 5.99, and then you see that there is a pattern in the niche that you are publishing in. This person has 5.99, this person has 5.99, this person has 7.99, this person has 4.99. But then you swoop in and then you're having something like 15.99 because you want to make a lot more money. And I can categorically tell you that for years and years, as person who also buy other people's book on Amazon, I will not even look at your book twice. In as much as I know it's going to provide value. So we order 5,000 other 10,000, 50 other thousand books in the same niche too. So we need to talk about pricing strategies too. Then we need to talk about, we're going to talk about listing optimization, the things that you have to do. Publishing book is not the main thing that you need to do. There are things that you do on the background that make sure that your efforts are worth it. And that is also what we're going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about launch. Sometimes there are things you need to do pre-launch, there are things you need to do post-launch. And you just don't launch your book and forget about it and move on to the next. It's something that needs constant optimizations. It's just like somebody having an app. Just like, let's use Digitstem as an example. If Digitstem is the same way they were 2 years ago, I don't think anybody is going to take the platform seriously. So they probably have a different dashboard 2 3 years ago, and then with time they're going to add more features on the dashboard. They're going to add more programs to their affiliates, to their students, just like the way they are launching this money game show. It is a new concept for them, and then who knows what they're going to have in store for other things in the future. So you constantly improve. That is the same thing. Even in Amazon KDP course that I have, when I launched it years ago, it's not the same thing the today, because I have constantly optimized it, incorporate AI tools that are coming out, incorporate new tools that I test out after testing out and make sure it's working, incorporate it, teach it, and other stuff. I am not somebody that is big on video content creation, but I'm trying now. So if you go to my TikTok, you're going to see some short videos that I'm trying to make these days. The point is, you don't list and forget. You list your book and constantly monitor and improve it just to make most out of it. So without wasting most of our time, we're going to dive on what Amazon KDP is. I like to use the simplest terms possible because I'm a very simple person and I don't like to complicate things. Amazon KDP is simply a branch of Amazon that is meant for books. So you self-publish on Amazon KDP. Instead of having to write your book and then start applying and having publishing houses look at your books to see if it's worthy for them to publish, because ultimately the goal of every publishing company is to make the most out of your book. So you sign a deal, maybe they pay you $100,000, 100,000. Let me use naira. Maybe they pay you 100,000 naira and then they go ahead to publish your book. They can make as much royalty they want on that book. So everybody wants what will profit them. So if your book is not really impressive to them, it doesn't necessarily mean they have knowledge of what the book is about, but they have to proofread it, see it, and see if it's something that is worthy of being on their shelf. And then they will decide to publish it. And most times, they're going to make you ridiculous offers. So you see that there is a barrier to entry because somebody who doesn't have much knowledge about a particular concept will always undervalue the effort of somebody who is an expert in that concept. So that is where Amazon KDP comes in. It has breached that gap. So now you don't need to go to publishing houses. What you need to do is simply write your own book and publish, and it's entirely free. That is one good thing about it. And if Amazon KDP was charging, I definitely will be paying for it monthly. So it is free. It has broken that barrier to entry. All Amazon wants you to do is give them something that is of quality. If you give them something that is of quality, they will spread your message to the world, and you get paid for it, because knowledge is profitable. And there is nothing that sells in this 21st century more than digital products. And books are digital products. Digital products are simply the type of products that are consumed online. You don't need inventories. You don't need to start shipping it to any address. They are consumed, they are bought and consumed online. So that is simply Amazon KDP. You just self-publish book on Amazon KDP platform. It was launched in 2007, so it's been here for a long time, and is going to be here for a very, very long time. So if you're thinking of starting Amazon KDP, now is actually the best time for you to join. If you've been on with Amazon KDP for a while, but you've been slacking, now is the time to get your shit together and actually go all in this business, because to me, it's a business. It's not like something I have to do to get money quickly. It is something that you treat as an online business so that it treats you as a business owner. And the aim of every business, I don't know about you, but the aim of every business is to get as much profit as possible. And everything you're getting off Amazon KDP is 100% profit, because, okay, I will not say 100% profit, because I invest in some tools, I buy some tools, but then it is still 100% profit, because number one is they are not charging you for their platform. The only thing they charge is if you sell your book, they will cut out their printing and shipping fee, and then they give you the rest, which you already know at the point of publishing it that this is what you're getting once this book is sold. So that is Amazon KDP. And brief background for me and how I started Amazon KDP. I graduated from the university in 2018, and for some reasons, which I'm very thankful for, I think it was because of presidential election that was happening during that year. We were quickly deployed for youth service, and I went to Abuja. I didn't know anybody in Abuja then, nobody. And when I went to Abuja, I had to resort to staying in the family house, the Catholic family house, which I ended up having a lot of friends with. It gave me very good friends that are today still my friends. And when you are in that sort of environment, you have to think on your feet. You need to make sure that whatever decision you're making is not going to either harm you, the people around you, or the future that you're planning for yourself. And I don't know how, but I was first deployed to go to National Hospital, Abuja, because I studied psychology and I love psychology and I want to be in a psychology setting. And when I was deployed, I went to the hospital with my deployment letter. But then, because of the rush that happened during that period of year for deployment, they couldn't take everybody. There were so many people. I mean, hospital is a big place where there are doctors, there are nurses, there's so many departments, biochemists. So they can't take everybody, obviously, because it requires them to make spaces. They also have to pay coppers. So they said no to me, and that hurt my ego, to be honest, because I thought I was one of the people that even if they are rejecting 100 people, they're going to accept me. And that gave me a reality check, to be honest, because there is this thing that we carry in our heads that if we venture in this business, we're going to succeed. If we venture into this, we're going to succeed immediately, regardless of what others. It's a very good positive thinking, but you need to also prepare yourself for the worst, because if you don't succeed, there are some people that when they don't succeed in that aspect of the business, they stand up for themselves. You see them sulking, you see them biting themselves, you see them now heaping very huge negative things on themselves, that it will be very hard for them to bring themselves out from the hole that they've dug for themselves. And that is what you see folks doing these days. But that gave me a reality check when I was rejected. But I didn't stop there. For some reason, I gave myself an idea that I deserved better. And what I did was, this sounds crazy, but what I did was I wrote a letter for them to repost me in EFCC headquarters in Abuja. And although in my mind I was like, what, it's not going to be any worse, right? So it's either they say yes or they say no. If they say no, I'll find somewhere else. If they say yes, sweet, I'll work there. And to my surprise, I was accepted in EFCC headquarters. And that was how I served in EFCC headquarters. I made a lot of friends there. I worked in the department of something, something statistics because of my background in psychology and statistics, because psychology dealt a lot with statistics. So I worked there for a year and then gave myself the overconfidence that I did well, because I was one of the people that helped in the writing of 2018 annual report of Nigeria. They did their crime stuff. So when I finished, they didn't take me, and that also hurt my ego. I applied. I wrote there. I had to travel from Abuja to Enugu to write one of their exams, but still, nothing came out of it. I said, okay, well, if that's the case, because when I was there, I was seeing these guys driving Mercedes. It was like back in the day, not back in the day, but I'm very old, so it felt like years ago, ages ago. You see these guys driving Mercedes C230 to, you'd be like, oh God, when you're jumping buses and stuff. So when I finished my service and they didn't pick me, I had to find an alternative because I wouldn't be going back home. That's not going to be happening. So when I finished, I had to find someone to rent a place with. And that is where I started exploring so many ways to make money online. Kept exploring, kept exploring. But before that, I found an intensive job that gave me an accommodation in a better place, but they were paying me 10,000. This is true life story. They were paying me 10,000, but they were giving me a of ball. I was learning a lot of skills. I have tech background. I do. I'm a front end developer. Even here in the UK, I have a small digital agency that I run too. So when that didn't work out, we were planning to build some type of e-commerce shopping app. But when that didn't work out, when the funds weren't showing up, everybody was asked to leave, and I had to leave where I was staying. I had to leave the estate. So that was when I kept dabbling, and then I stumbled upon Amazon KDP. And I can tell you that it took months and months of learning, learning and relearning, because this is where folks get it wrong. People approach it, like I said before, not as a business, they approach it as a scheme, right? You know, when MMM was raining, people want to put in their money, get double out, put in double, get quadruple out. It just doesn't work that way. You have to consciously do it the right way. You need to intentionally put your effort. And when I saw this thing paying me in much money, that I was like, thank you, Jesus, for having these guys not recruit me back in EFCC. Because what these guys are making in a month, driving distances to work, burning fuel, trading time stuff, I was making it sitting in my own home, and the only thing I needed was a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, or something I can connect, like a desktop I can connect the internet with, and my knowledge. And it was paying me. I had to rent have my own house in Abuja. Then I'm a very quiet person. I'm not one of, it's not like it's a bad thing, but I'm not one of these people that like to show off their wealth or their properties or their cars online, because I mean the internet and people who are on the internet likes to believe that if you're living a good life, what you're doing is actually working for you. So I am not somebody that is into all those type of money marketing where people just show off what they have in order to attract people to join them, do what they do, or buy their course. I am value based. If I tell you that this is what I teach, this is what I teach. If you don't believe me, fine. You can find somewhere else. And that is how I've been. Back in Abuja, I was living very, very comfortable life. I had like three cars. I don't think I ever showed anyone online. I don't think, but I was saying that I can make you this XYZ amount of money. Even when I moved to the UK, I don't think anybody knows my life, but that is how private my life. This type of things, this type of online teaching, I hardly. It's not like I don't get invited to it, but sometimes it just feels like, okay, I want to come and share my knowledge, but then I still need to talk about these things, and I need to keep my life in a certain way. So I trade value for all these shenanigans that go, because online is a very noisy place. But that series of wake up calls, those series of rejection, those series of things that I went through puts me in a path that even till today I'm still enjoying the fruits of it. Because one good thing about Amazon is if you upload one book, two books, and they are good, they can make you money for years without you having to um change any single thing in it. As far as it's working, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. If it's not working, then find ways to tweak it. So in this place now is where I'm going to tell you the things that I do, the things that I've done, and how you too can just copy the same thing if you listen. Because that is one skill that many people find it hard. If you can listen, you can actually change not just yourself, your financial future, but altogether your life. And many people think that you have to be an author to succeed on KDP, but that is far from the truth, because today I'm going to be showing you how to find what sells, because it's not going to be a guess game. You don't need to waste your time on things that are going to be wasteful. I remember when I started KDP, the first book I published made me tons of money. I used it to teach in my course. And the issue became that people started copying that same topic. That same topic. I can tell you that when I went to Amazon and typed that same topic, I found a lot of crap, because sometimes when you see things that we from one side of the country or one side of the world publish, there is almost like a pattern to detect it. So you see a lot of books on that same topic. And I'm going to tell you, I regretted showing that stuff on screen, because in as much as that is good for people to do their trials, it's also bad for you for your own business too. So I'm going to be showing you how to use AI. It's going to make things easy for you if you stay in this particular video and just bring your pen and your paper, because I'm going to be giving you premium knowledge and some of the things that I've not even talked about, because my course is something I always update. So you need to be very, very attentive. And one thing I want to say before I start this whole thing is Amazon KDP is a business, right? You need to treat it as one. and it requires time, it requires money to an extent of which we're going to be talking about, but you shouldn't be scared of it because it's completely optional. It depends on you. If you're willing to trade time for money, then money can save you a lot of time. So if you have none of these, if you don't have strategy, which I'm going to be showing you, if you don't have time, if you don't want to treat it as a business, I don't think you should be watching this video. You can click off it and maybe find something else. There is a lot of skills to learn these days. You can learn copywriting, you can learn trading, you can learn Facebook ads, you can learn Google ads, you can learn cybersecurity, anything that entertains you, anything that you love to do, anything that you find passion in, then you can switch to it. But these are the things that you require to actually succeed with this. And I want you to, and that is why I'm going to be showing you how to. So there are common myths that I need to debunk when it comes to Amazon KDP. And this common myth is number one, I do not have time. When people say I do not have time, it triggers me in a very bad way because number one is every single person has time. So if you check your social media usage, if you check your Netflix usage, if you check your Prime usage, whichever platform that you stream with, if you check how many videos, because YouTube actually shows you your history, so the Facebook also shows you your history. If you see the videos you've seen, how long they are, and you actually see your screen time, you will see that you have loads of time. You don't just have time, you have loads of time. And if you can dedicate an hour or two to this, because that is all it needs, it doesn't need time, right? Me, I also do some works here. So if I have other things, I have plenty of other things that I do. This Amazon KDP is not the only thing I do. I have loads of other things that I'm involved in. I have different teams that I work with. So if you don't have an hour or two to dedicate to this, I don't think is the best fit for you. You can as well find something you can plug and play and just forget, right? So that's one myth. Another one is I do not have money. So if you check your last expenses, maybe your last month expenses or the last 6 months expenses, you will see that money isn't exactly your problem to an extent. People drink, people do a lot of stuff, people subscribe, people, there's a lot of things people do with money. And they don't just realize how much they spend because they don't keep track of their money. Personally, I can be a careless spender, but then I use an app called, I think, Money Manager. It has like a piggy, red piggy logo on it. If you go on Apple Store or Google Play Store, you're going to say Money Manager. So at the end of the month, I impute them because I have so many subscriptions. So at the end of the month, you see how much you spent on a particular category. It gives you an insight of how much I've been eating out because sometimes you'll be using Uber Eats so much you don't even know how much you've spent on it. If you have to know how much is going into your savings, your stocks and stuff, so that you know how much wasteful funds you have, and it's going to help you make the right decision because sometimes I find it hard to make subscriptions for like something like a Canva Pro that is like £100 a month and £100 a year. It can be hard to make that subscription, but then it should not be hard for you to buy something that is not useful for £100, right? So you still need to look into your spending to see that money isn't exactly a problem. And then some people would think it takes months for you to make money off KDP. Of course, it takes months. Why wouldn't it take months? Not that it can't take less, but a real business, a business that is going to stand the test of time, takes time. So you need to stick with Amazon KDP for at least 6 months, even if you don't see any session. You need to stick with it for at least 6 months, ideally for a year, right? And that is why it's called passive income. Sometimes you can have other things, you can have a job, you can have other things that you do with your time, but then you also need to have that on the side. Dedicate an hour or two. Like I said, that is all you need to build this empire for yourself. So that is the myth of most common questions that I hear people say. And then I want to also let you know about the earning potential of this, because we need to be realistic when we call money. I don't want to tell you that you're going to make £10,000. Uh, sorry that I use 10 pounds every time. Is the currency that is now stuck in my head because I'm in the UK, obviously. So I don't want to tell you that you're going to make £10,000 on a monthly basis, or you're going to make £20,000, or you're going to become a millionaire in the next 60 days. That is not my proposition. The thing is, if you stick to it, you're going to start making money. And if you keep optimizing it, you're going to make even more money, right? That is how it works. And so if you look at February data for KDP Select, they paid out 53.3 million US dollars. So that is for KDP Select. KDP Select is a program for Amazon where you enlist your book for 90 days, and then they have exclusive rights to your book, and they can share it to people using Amazon Kindle Unlimited and stuff. So is them pushing your book on their platform to make sure it gets to the audience that needs it to the maximum reach, right? So that 55.3 million, you're not looking for $1 million, you're not looking for $2 million, right? If you can make 2K of that 53, you can make $2,000, $3,000, that will be enough for you. And obviously, if you have more books that have high potentials, you're going to make more. If you make $500, that's still something good. If you add more books that are more quality, you're going to make more. So for my folks that are in Nigeria or maybe in Ghana, you see that although the money sounds small, if converted to the currency that you use back there, you see that is a substantial amount of money. I don't know what the exchange rate is now, but I think the last time I checked, it was like uh in the UK. I use an app. I don't know. I use an app called OA. The conversion now, I think £2,096. So I don't know how much that will be in dollars, but let's say the conversion rate is around $1,500. Yeah. And if $1,588, if you are making something like $250 in a month, you're making 397,000 naira. So that 397,000 naira, you're making more money than some people that dresses, jumps buses, and goes to the office, right? You're making more money than people that wear uniform and risk their lives on the road. You're making more money than a lot of people in AC office. Some people in the office are making like 100K. Some people are making 200K. People are making 300K. And some people are making higher. But this is like a benchmark that I'm using as an example. So that's for one book. Let's say you make that for one book. And now imagine if you are making no, so let's say you are making $50 in a month, which is like a low benchmark, very, very low benchmark. So let's say you're making $50 a month and you have five books. So that's the example. Like that's 50 times five, that's like 250. That's like if you now convert it to the amount that I said earlier, 1,588, you're having like 397,000. So now imagine if you make 50 a day instead of a month, which is very, very it's very common. So just imagine you make 50 a day with each book and you have 10 good books. So now you're earning 100 plus on so if you're making 50 2 days, you're making 100. So imagine how much you can make a month, and times that by how many books you have, and then convert that to your currency. And that is how much you could be making with Amazon KDP on a monthly basis. And these are royalties. You don't need to buy expensive gadgets. You don't need to buy expensive tools. And I'm going to be showing you some of the things that you need to be doing in this session. So, number one thing that we're going to be talking about here is for you to publish any book, you need to know what you're going to be publishing. And that is where topic and niche comes in. So, niche is a specific audience or avatar, and you need to cater for it. One of the mistakes I see some of my students who back in the days were making was sometimes if you see a topic, it is so generic that you as a buyer you don't even know who the book is trying to refer to. But one of the things that people who make more do differently than people who don't make is they talk to a particular audience. So if you talk to a particular audience, now I'm talking about Amazon KDP. I'm not just talking about making money online. If I'm talking about making money online, it could be any type of skill. It could be anything at all. But when you now bring it down to using Amazon KDP, right? You're now specific about the type of skill that is being talked about on this session. So that is the same thing about Amazon KDP. You need to know the niche you're supposed to be targeting. You're supposed to know how to. There's a psychology bit that you use to name your titles, and we're going to be talking about it here. So I'm going to be talking about three niches. We have evergreen niches, and these are like things that are always in demand all year round. 365 days, people are always buying it. And then we have trending niches, niches that is seasonal. When things happen, people just publish about it, and then people who are interested in it, because there are millions that is always on Amazon shopping around. So trending things come when it's hot, and then people that are interested grab it. So when the buzz falls, the sales dwindle. So that is trending niches, and then there is on underserved niches. So underserved niches are like industry specific niches. So let's say real estate investing trackers, which is something that is underserved. That's for example. And aside from the niches that we talked about, we also have three categories that people publish in. And we have low content. And when we talk about low content, we're talking about books that have minimal writing in it, something like journals, something like drawing books, something like notebooks or coloring books, right? So these are low content. They rarely have any written words inside. And then we have medium content books, which have a combination of drawings and words and stuff. So they are in the middle. Something like puzzle books, something like activity books, children and adult coloring books also have the ones that have more content of writing in it. These are medium content books. And then we have high content books, which are like fiction or non-fiction. For example, this is going to be an example of a high content book because you can see most of the pages are written words, right? And that is a good example of a non-fiction high content book. So we're going to be talking about how to research for a good topic or a good niche that people are passionate about, people are actively looking for, people are buying, that when you publish in it, you I don't know why I can be able to share this my screen. I would really love to share the screen so that I love to show what I'm doing. I want to see if I don't know, you're still there, you can still hear me, I can still come out clearly, yeah?
Yes, 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 you are. I can still hear you. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, are you still there? Okay, we can't. I can't hear you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Your screen is not showing anymore. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Was
Your
it showing?
presentation is not showing anymore. Yeah, it showed earlier, but it's
Was
not
it
showing
showing?
at the moment again.
Oh, okay. I
Yes.
was asking, but I don't think you were hearing me then. I'm going to try share it again. Is it showing now? Yeah.
Yes, it is showing. Yes, it is showing.
Okay. So, the first thing that we're going to be talking about is I said we need to talk about ways you can guess the topic that you're supposed to be publishing on because you need to know what you are talking about. You need to know the niche that you're publishing in, just so that you'll be able to know that this is worth your time. This is going to be profitable for you. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for example, I go to Amazon.com, yeah, and let's find, let's go in books, and then let's find something like self improvement. I'm going to show you the niche to search, but I'm going to I'm first trying to show you let's go into this one first, and we're going to come down and go to this niche. No, this is audibles. This is audible. So we go to this one. So you can see now that these are bestsellers in business processes and infrastructure. If we go back to this niche and we're looking for something like, I'm going to show you how to use AI, but I'm just trying to make a point with this one. So let's go into self help. Self help, by the way, is one of the niches that is going crazy right now, but I don't need to tell you that. So let's go to um, say emotions. So this book here, which is emotions, that is under self help, and if we go into it, you can see that this is number one in emotional self help. This has 25,000, almost 26,000 reviews. And if we go down, not the reviews. Mm, yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So you can see this is ranking 82 in Audible books and originals. This is ranking number one. This book is doing some numbers. Is number one is emotional self help. Is number one is Christian family and relationships. So if you can also check how much money a book is making, you can also download some tools which we're going to be talking about. So there are ways to find uh, books that are selling. Number one is you can use Amazon bestsellers, right? So you need to know the niche that you are publishing, which we'll also talk about. So you go to Amazon, go to books, and you can go to bestsellers, or you type a particular topic related to the category or the niche that you're researching on, and then you look for it, and then you find books that their bestsellers is less than 80,000 bestseller rank overall on Amazon KDP. So if it's 80,000 or less, it is making $500 plus every single month. 80K BSR makes 500 plus monthly. That is the benchmark you should be using. You can also use Amazon movers and shakers, right? And this is what you can research on your own. You can also use movers and shakers. Then number two is you can use Google Trends. You can compare niches like gratitude journal, fitness. So these are what people actively search on Google. Most people that go to Amazon sometimes don't go to Amazon directly. Somebody can open up, like if I open up my computer and open up Google Chrome, the first thing that comes on my screen is Google search. So somebody can just search what they're looking for. Maybe you're a cook and you're looking for a particular recipe, they'll just type it in, and Amazon can now bring out link because most times Amazon has a very strong domain authority. So this domain authority has allowed them to rank very high on searches that they have something related to. So when people search for these things, they get those list of things and they can just click on Amazon KDP link. So you can use Google Trends. You just go to trends.google.com and then you can compare niches. You can see a graph of how people search for these things. They can give you a graph of 30 days, they can give you a graph of 90 days, up to I think around 12 years or so. So it gives you an idea of what people are actively searching for online. Then you can use Answer the Public. So Answer the Public is a very big place where you find questions that people are asking online. So they collate questions, and as you enter into questions, you're going to be seeing it niched down. So you're going to find what people are actively searching for, what questions people are asking online, and you're going to see the trending ones so that you know what to go into. And then obviously there are tools you can use, of which I'm going to show you because tools are my favorites, to be honest. Tools are number one and the last one. Amazon itself and the last one are my favorite ones. So there are tools you can use. You can use BookBolt, you can use Seed, you can use Seller Sprite, you can use DS Amazon Quick View, and you can even use AI. I'm going to show you how to also do that. So if we go to this is Seed, this is what it looks like. And you can also register. You can also download the plugin to use with it. So let's, for example, we want to do self-help and we come here and you choose the country that you want. So mostly, personally, I like to publish for the United States because they have massive markets and they mostly use Amazon KDP more than any other country put together. So they have almost population of 300 and something million. And here in the UK, I think we are only like 90 something million. So I like to use them because that's a very huge market. And then it's not like Amazon doesn't market to other countries, obviously. You also see when you are launching your book on the pricing side, you see the sorry, am I limited? Is there a time limit to this session? So I'll know if I have a time constraint because sometimes when I start teaching, I don't keep quiet.
Oh, you can
Is there a
go
time
ahead,
constraint on
please.
this
Feel
now?
free.
All right.
No.
So right, okay. So let's, for example, I type self-help here and I click on reverse search. So you can see that this keyword is, like I said, self-help is going crazy. I'm not giving you an expo and I'm not telling you to start copying and doing things now because you still need to do it the right way. Yeah. So don't close this life and then jump off to go and do something very quick in order for you to buy Benz like Bella tomorrow. So self-help books for women, you can see the searches, right? So this is a monthly search, and this are the searches in that month, and this M here represents million. So 49 million people, almost 50 million people are searching something specific for women. So this is now niched. So this is not just self-help now. This is self-help for women, right? And then you can even go crazy niched when you say self help for women with anxiety, right? Also for women under the age of 60. The money is in the niche because
Nobody wants to buy a generic knowledge. People want to buy exactly what they know is going to solve their problem, right? I want to buy a book that when I read is going to either entertain me or give me knowledge or solve my problem. So that problem is always specific. I need something specific. So, but there are around 97,000 products on that now, and there are like 1,900 purchases of it per month. So this one is general one. There are self-help books. There is self-help. There is self-help for men. Well, what I'm saying. So this is seller Asin Seed, and you can also download the Google Chrome. So Google Chrome is those things that you see. Where is it? Did I say Google Chrome? Google Chrome extensions are those things that you. I don't know where did my extensions go? So if I go to my extensions there, I have some few extensions on my stuff. These are the ones that I use. You can see some Amazon related uh, extensions here. There is Bookbeam, there is Scraper, there is Suggestion Expander, there is this Quick View. But yeah, I don't know why they disappeared from my bar here. It's supposed to be here. Is for Ascent Seed. You can use it to make your research and make a like a defined decision on what exactly you're going to be publishing. And then we have Seller Sprite. Seller Sprite has a number of tools that you can use. Yeah. So if you go to tools, you can see competitor lookup, you can see product research, market research, blah 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 blah. So it works just as the other one, Ascent said, but this one has more tools that you can use. And but some of them, like some of these things are free trial. You can see I just have 1 day left. And you get free trials where you have the opportunity to test out the product and see if it gives you what you're looking for. And then if it's good for you, then why not pay for it? So if you go to something like keyword research, and obviously we are looking for the United States, and we're looking for, let's say this month, no, this is for last month. And if you have a particular, this is like very detailed, if you like have like a particular niche that you're looking for, you can just click it, and then you can just come in and like self help, and you can, I don't even know if I put my card on here because I need to cancel it because I don't need it. So once you do that, you're going to come down and you're going to see these are more like you can see all these products here. Like I said, you need to choose all these things. If you choose all these parameters, that is when you get like a tailored type of search with this one. But if you are low on investment funds, you can use Google Trends. You can use, there are some few tools that I taught in my KDP course that are also free to use. You can also use those tools, and you can also use Asin Seed. I also have the one that we tried to develop in house, but it for other type of stuffs, yeah. But if you go to our website, you can also use it for some of the things that I'll be also be talking about session. But yeah, that is about free method of researching for keyword and niche. So if you're talking about the paid methods, you're talking about using Publisher Rocket. So Publisher Rocket gives you, I bought it like years ago. So this is my Publisher Rocket software. The bad thing about this one is that you can't share it. I tried sharing it with some of my students back, I think around 2022. I tried sharing it with my students, but then when somebody enters the details in their system, it will ask me who is if I want to give access. If I give the person access, it will log me out. So it's one computer, one person. So it's not something you can share, but it's cheap. I think it's around, when I bought it was around $97. So you can buy it. It's one time payment, so you're not going to be paying monthly. So you can see keyword research, you can analyze your competitors, category research, Amazon ads, and then asking lookup. So for this keyword now, I can just come here if I'm looking for keywords and I can change it to books. The reason why I change it to books is because paperbacks for me makes more money than ebooks, right? So I don't know, is it could be something different for everybody, but personally I've seen more success with paperbacks than ebooks. So I come here and write like self-help, and then I click on go get them rockets. So what it does this is going to scrape online Amazon KDP plugs, how much they're making monthly, the average price, number of competitors, and all. So now if I click on this first one, it says self-help. You can see that this has average number of pages. The book that is on this particular niche averages 306 pages. The number of competitors is more than 1,000. Average price is around $14. Average monthly earnings of people that publish this book is around 303,000. And there is more than 20,000 people searching for this particular thing every single month. I don't want to sound somehow, but self help is something that is on the rise because I mean we're all getting messed up in so many ways. So we need self help. So if people are searching for it, is going to show you. So but competitive score also shows you how competitive this is. So you can see right now this is very competitive, so you need to up your game for you to actually also make money. So self-help books is even more with searches and is even less competitive because this is moderately competitive. So you can go on and on and on, and you can see for women are always uh, oh, for here, men data is even more, and but the competitive score is the same. But this is how simple it is to make keyword research because when you go on to the point of publishing your book, you are given opportunities to add keywords that are related to your book, of which when people are searching for those books that you publish, they need to type those keywords and you need to rank. It's just more like search engine optimization, but for Amazon KDP. You need to put relevant things that are in your book so that when people are looking for it, they need it's just like there's a specific circle of what most people will type if they're looking for something or what they will. So let's for example, if I go to Amazon itself now and let me go to books and I'm looking for something related to self help. The first thing that will come to my mind is to type self, right? And what do you see on the screen? Amazon is already suggesting self help book. If I type self, it can be any single thing, it can be anything. But then you can see that Amazon is showing me keywords that are most likely to be what I'm going to type. And how they suggest this is because they know that a large number of people are typing these same keywords when they're searching for this type of content or this type of book. So you see self-help books, self-help, self-care journal, self published, self-compassion, self-reflected, self-reflection journal. So if I now click on self-help books, you can see the results of people who have actually taken advantage of keywords in their publishing process. And you can see this, you can see. So you get the point. So that's for Publisher Rockets. There is also KDP Spy. KD Spy. I don't use that one because obviously I have Publisher Rocket, but it works the same as Publisher Rocket. It also tells you how much a book is making a day. It shows you how much people are searching for it monthly. It shows you those type of what's it called, metrics that you see with the Publisher Rocket that I just showed you a few minutes ago. So that is for the paid method. But if you're starting out, you're most likely to explore some of these free methods that are Amazon is pretty good at showing you what people are searching for. But if you want to go premium and just make sure that there is a backed up data behind this, you can go for premium tools. You can also use BookBoat. I didn't show BookBoat. I BookBot was like one of the tools that I've taught in my Amazon KDP course. So once you have your topic, we're taking it step by step now, yeah. So once you have your topic, the next thing you need to go for, or you need to go for, is the content that you're going to be putting in your book. Content is very important. And one of the things that I love about this business now is because there is competition, fierce competition between AI platforms, and everybody is training theirs to be better than the other. I don't know about you, but if you have an Android phone, you now have access to Gemini. Is that what they call? Yeah, Gemini. So if you click Gemini, it interacts with you as a human being, right? He can just keep it and just have interaction. Just talk to it. It talks back. When you talk, it stops and then it talks back. So there is a fierce competition between all these tech companies with AI, and the prices are dropping, subscription fees are dropping, and or the number of words or attributes quality is increasing and stuff. So there are traditional methods of sourcing for your content, and number one is public domain books. The goal of us is, because I mean there are two types of people this Amazon KDP is meant for. It's meant for authors and it's meant for creators. Authors are people who are actual writers, people who spend time writing books, who are established authors who love writing. It doesn't necessarily have to be nonfiction, or it can be anything. People that likes to create books. And then there are creators, people who source for contents, people like us who don't want to spend hours and hours and hours trying to write one book. So we create those books by getting authentic materials for it and putting it together, spending the time to actually create those books and then publish it. So you can get public domain books. So when books are published, like even the books on Amazon right now, when they get to a particular age, or when the author dies and the book gets to a particular age, it gets stripped of its copyright. So anybody can republish it, anybody can use it. So all these public domains like archive places, people just remodel the content in those particular platforms and then they republish those books. And it works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. So it's something that is a bit of 50-50, because sometimes Amazon might block it, sometimes Amazon might tell you this or tell you that. But you can get content or source content from public domain books. And YouTube is a great place because there's like hours and hours of podcasts on a particular topic on YouTube, and you can strip. You don't have to watch the whole video. You can get tools like tactic.io or comb.ai to extract video text. Okay, so let me show you an example of what that is. And if I go to like tactic.io, so tactic, and I go to free YouTube transcripts, and I go to YouTube. Let me search for let me search for any topic. So that is ready. My internet is doing the most tonight, but that's okay. But on this place, what is going to show you is all the words that are being said in that video. So those words is something you can copy and use it as your book. You can put it as your book, but you need to go through those words, and you don't need to put all those words for word. You can actually use it and paraphrase them, which we're going to be talking about later. Let's Let's copy this one. Let's paste this here and get video transcript. So you can download the transcript, right? So you can download it and it's going to get downloaded in your system. You can also use the second one, which is this one, the comb.ai. I think this one ultimately writes it out for you so that you can just copy it out. There, right home. You can try all these tools for yourself. So just take the link and then you can get all these things that I'm saying. So there is a lot of content on YouTube actually, and I think a lot of people ignore that. But there's a lot of people who are experts in their field that actually utilize YouTube as a means of sharing their knowledge, and you can take advantage of this by using it just the way you use other platforms. So you get it, you paraphrase it, and make sure that there is no copyright content in it, so that it doesn't get flagged by Amazon, and then you can publish that. And then there are articles. You can also use articles. I think this is actually how I started. I started using content from, like, if I'm publishing something of health, I like to visit like men's health websites and stuff. And then I take content from there and other sources. If you Google a particular topic, you're going to see that you're going to get a lot of uh, queries. You're going to get a lot of feedback from the query, and then you see a lot of links that is talking about the topic you are interested in. And then that's for the traditional one. You can get all this content from the traditional source, and then there is AI content sourcing. And that is where the game has changed literally, because you can now do things the easier way without having to go through a lot of links trying to get. You can do everything in one place. My favorite is DeepSeek. DeepSeek was launched not long ago, but I can tell you that it's actually my favorite AI to use. And I don't know why, but I think it gives me better answers than I get from ChatGPT. And I don't know how it works for others, but I think I prefer DeepSeek. So one of the things you do, I think I wrote an example of this in with ChatGPT. So if you come here, you see that I first of all I said, what are the best 10 niches to publish right now on Amazon KDP? That is the first question. So number one is self-help and personal development, and then children book, and then it will give you 10. Then my next question was generate 10 topics on number one that will sell well at the moment. So it generated topics for self-help and personal development. My third question was, I want the topics properly niched down to a particular audience and to solve a problem. And then you can now see that it's now niched down: time management for remote working moms, how to balance work, kids, and self-care. So this topic now, I can now go ahead to say generate up to like 5 chapter ideas. Generate 5 chapter ideas for number one with working moms mostly in mind. And then you can see that it's going to give you the all the chapters that you're looking for. The juggle is real, a real mom's guide to time management, creating your mom's boss routine, power of work. So you get the idea of what I'm saying. So now you're getting your topic, you're getting your chapters, and it can also generate all the content that you're looking for. So I can generate my topic and other things with ChatGPT or DeepSeek, but I don't like using it for the main content. I use a different AI, which is Claude AI. I don't know how many people use Claude AI, but Claude AI is actually very, very good with long form type of content. I've used it and I can see there is a difference between what it's capable of generating and what other ones are capable of generating. So I can use this DeepSeek or ChatGPT to generate my topics, generate the chapters for the topic, and I can also tweak the topics if they don't really speak the way I will want them to, because I will have to look at other books on Amazon KDP to see how the winning ones are structured, because I am not will. I'm taking what is already working and I am doubling down on it, right? So Claude AI is the one I use for long form, and then I can also use ChatGPT or Copilot for the content if the Claude AI is maybe not really working for me, or I don't see the content as what it used to bring to me. So, but AI content sourcing is actually very, very good and is going to be one of the best things that you learn to do. And the way you ask questions to this AI is also matter, because it gives you what you give it. Is garbage in, garbage out. So if you tell it to give you this, is that is exactly what it's going to give you. So it's best to be as descriptive as possible. It is best that you give it the type of prompt that you want answers to. You need to be niched down. You need to ask it reasonable prompt. You don't have to be general. Don't be general. Don't generalize everything. So now you've done your research on your keywords, you've found your topic, you found your chapters, you've generated your content with AI or any other method that we've talked about. Now it is time for you to check your work, because all these things that you're getting from online, of course, you're not writing it, someone else wrote it. So it's somewhere, it's sitting on the web somewhere. So you need to make sure that it doesn't get flagged, because Amazon would know that this is plagiarized, and you will get some type of emails to tell you that you need to either change this, or they even draft your book for you to correct everything that needs to be corrected. So you need to make sure that you check your book so that it's free of plagiarism. And there are a few tools that we use. Like I said, we have our own in-house tool that we also use for this. Is one of these Skillsify toolkits that we have in-house. And then there is small SEO tool that you can also use to check the plagiarism and then change some of the things. And then there is Qbot and Grammarly that you can also use. So you don't need to take the risk of publishing things that way, because if you do, you risk banning uh you risk account ban on your Amazon KDP. So always rewrite these things, or always make sure that you spin these words just so they are not appearing as copied from somewhere. So once you do that, the next thing to do is, because all these times you're doing, you're just copy and pasting, you're just copy and pasting, right? So after you've done all these checks and make sure that your book is ready, the next thing to do is to format your book. The interior needs to be formatted, right? And you also need to design the cover. And there are design psychologies. As I mentioned before, we're not trying to do something new. We're not reinventing the wheel. We are copying what works. So what I do when I publish books and I want to design, there are two things that I do. Is either I go and hire a designer on Fiverr. Sometimes it doesn't even take much, maybe around $10 to $20, maybe 30, right? And that is part of the investment I was talking about earlier. I am not a good graphic designer when it comes to these covers, right? Even if I have access to Canva, and then there are many templates that are actually good, but you need that professional touch for it to be appealing, right? It has to be appealing for someone to be able to click it and then see the content and buy it. That is the goal that you're publishing books for. You need to model successful ones. What color is common in this niche? What type of font is common in this niche? And what type of color combinations? Sometimes many things are different. Maybe they use two colors, or maybe they use two different colors on the fonts. You need to see what works and how you can actually model what works. And then you can use Canva. You can use Canva to design your book cover, because they have templates. But if you want the really, really good templates, they're always in the pro account, so you can subscribe. For us, I think is around £100 a year. So you can subscribe for Canva, and then you get access to all those pro designs that you can simply just edit and remove some things and make it your own. Or you can use, when it comes to formatting, you can use Kindle Create. And that is one thing that people make a lot of mistakes with. They write a good book, they have a good cover, but then they don't properly format their book. You see, they have bleeds everywhere. The trim sizes are not correct, but I'm going to be showing you the common trim sizes and how you can also inculcate this when you're publishing your book. So Kindle Create actually is a free Amazon software. I don't know, Create. So it's Kindle Create. You can see, and is a software you can download it in your computer. I don't think it has an app, so you can download it in your computers. Is absolutely very, very good because it already has Amazon Kindle structures. So all you need to do is simply copy, paste, and then format it how you want to. Then there are options for you to choose from. So choose what works for you, choose what is in your niche, and you're good. So that is for Kindle Create. You can also use Mid Journeys to generate book covers. But like I said, my preference in most cases is to hire a designer because people judge your book by its cover. If your cover is not attractive, if you see the way they flip past it, that is when your book start catching dust on Amazon shelves. So Midjourney is also one of the tools that you can use to generate art. It depends on what your book is about. But yeah, for paid to articles is also good. I've not used it before, to be honest, but I've seen a lot of good reviews for people who have used it to format their book interiors. They attest that the software is good, so you can also have a good look at it if that's what interests you. Then for the interiors, in some cases, I've seen people have a good book, like I mentioned, and went ahead to give it wrong trim size. So if you have a non-fiction is like this one that I already gave you. It has different sizes. So this is a small one. This small one is around maybe 5 by 8 inches. You can say the book is the greatest trade ever. But then there is another one. This is marketing, right? This is published by Seth Godin. So this one and this one, they are not the same size. As you can see, they are two different sizes. This book is bigger than this, but the both are non-fiction. So if you're writing a small non-fiction, you can use 5 by 8 inches to write it. If you're publishing something large, you can use 6 by 9 inches. There's also a calculator that you can use. Is created by Amazon itself. Just type on Google interior Amazon interior size calculator. You're going to see how to also trim your books, and that's for non-fiction. For low contents is around this size to maybe 6 by 9, or there are larger ones that are 8 by 5, 8 by 5 times 11 inches. So if you're doing low content are those ones that we talked about, like children's books, drawing, coloring books, journals, things that have minimal writing in it. And then we have cocktail table books. All this, I think this, I don't know, but they send Royal Mail sends this to my address every month. So this is like house interior book, is like design works. You can see, this is big. You can see it's bigger than the ones I've shown before. So these are like 10 by 11 inches, and they are like used for architectural design books, artworks, etc. It's not the same size as this. You can see it's bigger than this, and this one is even smaller when compared. So the types of books you design, the types of trim sizes is dependent on the type of book you're publishing. Use this as a benchmark if you're publishing nonfiction, which is mostly what I publish. Nonfiction, I publish in that niche a lot, and I think that is what most people publish in. So use 5 by 8 or 6 by 9. and then low content. So you can just use this as a benchmark, because when you publish something and then you use a wrong trim size, so what that happens is sometimes if mistakenly for any error, Amazon accepts it, because before publishing, you get to where they will display the book for you and then make sure that the trim sizes, the bleeds, the middle ones, the everything is in place. If any text is out of the book, you will need to go back to wherever designer or wherever software you use to adjust it. So you need to make sure that these things, Amazon will not accept it. So you have to go back, re-upload it for them to also check it again. So if for some reasons it gets accepted, there are some times that when it's printed, some words that is inside your book gets cut out, and that is a very bad customer experience. And this is what ultimately leads to bad reviews and stuff. So that is something you will need to make sure that you're using the right sizes. So now we've found our topic, we've found our keywords, we've found our um, content, we've formatted it. Now it is time, we've designed our book cover. Now it is time for us to list the book or publish it. If you want to name your book, instead of giving it a generic name like Arts of Good Marriage, that's just but let's say you're giving it something like that, it has to follow a pattern for it to work. And if you see other books on Amazon, you see that the ones that are selling, you see that they have a particular pattern on how they name or title their book. So the main book, the main keyword has to be the main title, followed by the benefits and then the call to action. Let's, for example, you're publishing something on anxiety journal. So if you just name it anxiety journal, that is the title and subtitle. That is very wrong, because it's not solving a specific problem. So this one is 90-day mental health prompts to reduce stress. So this is for stress reduction, and it has a realistic timeline, which is like 90-day mental. So these are 90-day mental prompts to reduce stress. Now, this is talking to people with mental health issues or people that are going through stress, that this journal is something that can help them write down something, or something that will help them reduce this particular issue for them. And that is where this importance of niche down keywords come. But if you name it anxiety journal, nobody knows the type of anxiety or the type of people who are anxious. There are people who are in their jobs that are anxious. There are people who are in school, they're anxious. There are people who are stressed, they're anxious. There are people who have mental health. They're like maybe people who are autistic and still anxious. Which particular audience are you talking to? So you need to be specific. And for your book description template, so book description is like the sales page of your book. If you're listing your book, when you pass some categories like the pen name, the title, the subtitle, you get to where you write your description. So your description should have what's inside your book. Is obviously it's not going to have everything inside. It's just like summary of bullet points of what's inside your book. Who is it for? Your book needs to address a particular audience. This is very important, and this is sometimes is what separates somebody that makes 500 and somebody that makes 5,000. So you need to be specific about the audience that you're addressing, and you need to have call to action. People like to be told what to do, whether you like it or not. Even people, like if you're shopping online, there are what separates somebody you flipped over and people you bought for sometimes is in the message and the call to action. So you need to tell them to go scroll up and buy, or you need to tell them what to do next, because if you don't tell them what to do next, you might just lose them. So this is what you also need to follow when listing your book. And format your description with Kindlepreneur. I am going to show you what Kindlepreneur is. One of the blogs I like to read about Amazon KDP. And the owner of the blog, or the owner of the website, is the same person that owns the KDP rockets that I use for my research. the one that I just showed you now. So the guy is somebody who has made a lot of money online with KDP, and he has a course. I think his course cost about two grand or 2 grand plus. So you see how important it is for him and people who buys his course. So you can see this book description generator. If you click on it, this is the tool that you're supposed to be using. So Amazon is also like a big platform like Google. It has millions of products online on its platform. So it crawls just like Google robots crawl to determine which best website to show you when you search for a particular topic. Amazon KDP also crawls its platform to show the best topics related to what, or the best books, products related to what you're searching for. You need to position yourself in a way that when that search or when that prompt comes, your book will be able to reach. And one of the things is to make sure that your description is in HTML tags. I don't know how to remove this, but I'm just you should have had one button where you can simply remove this. Yeah. So if you come here, you can just Amazon book description. They also have for Kobo publishing, and they also have for Barnes and Noble. So you need to format it. If is in the bullet points that I talked about before, you can click on bullet points and put your descriptions. After doing it, and you can just click on generate my code. So this code will generate it in HTML tags, where instead of just having big thing as the topic or the header, it will have that the less than and equal to with H1 or H2 inside, depending on which header level it is. So when you generate this code and paste it on Amazon KDP description, it is going to turn that code into the normal thing it's supposed to be without those tags in it. So it helps it rank very well because it is now in tags and Amazon can comfortable crawl it. People don't do this. People just go and write the description just the way they want in the Amazon KDP platform and publish. But it also something that helps with SEO, and SEO is a big part of Amazon KDP because organically you're going to be shown to a large number of people as opposed to maybe running ads or stuff. So that is for your optimization. So now you've gotten to the point of you need to make sure of some few things. And I just keep saying it because that is the truth. We're not reinventing the wheel. We are looking at what is working. If you look at the books on your particular niche, you'll find a pattern. You see the prices that don't go below, and you see the prices that don't go above, regardless of the niche you're publishing. If you look, you see that sometimes they're like in the middle ground. Maybe this is 5.99, this is 6.99, this is 8.99, this is 6.99, this is 7.99. You see that in a particular type of triangle. Now, how you price your book is how you value it in terms of that circle. There are books that are 300 and something pages. There are books that are 100 and something pages. And obviously, the less the number of pages you have, the less amount it takes to print it by Amazon, right? The less weight it has, and you're going to get less fees for those printing and shipping. So if this is 300 and something page book and is 10.99 and you have 200 and something, and then the circle doesn't go above 10 something, you can price your book because it has less pages, and because there is like a strategy of pricing in that niche, you can find the middle ground and price your book. Do not overvalue the price of your book, because if you do so, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You don't need to, and we know that you spend a lot of time, but you are literally selling these things to millions and you're playing the game of numbers. So you do not have to be greedy. You can find a middle ground. If you price your book at 5.99, we in a niche where it doesn't go below 4.99 and it doesn't go above 10.99, that is a good middle ground, and you're going to see customers buy your book. So One of the launch strategies you can also adapt is you enlist your book in KDP Select. Like I said before, KDP Select is where you give Amazon 90 days exclusive rights of your book on their platform. So when you publish it on KDP, you dare not publish it on something like Kobo or any other like Barnes and Noble, any other publishing platform. So it boosts your sales because Amazon does not only leave it on KDP platform, it shows it more to people who use Kindle. Kindle is a device that Amazon sells, that customers use it to read books. So people, when they read like your ebook as opposed to paperback, when they read your ebook, they can actually you actually get paid for the number of pages they read. So if somebody orders paperback, you get paid. If somebody reads your ebook, you still get paid. So you can also always renew the KDP Select, but a rule of the thumb is to enroll it in KDP Select for that 90 days and look at your dashboard every single day to just make sure that your book is optimized for readership and Amazon is showing it to as much number of people as possible. Ads. Ads is one of the things I also taught in my course and is a huge part of Amazon KDP because it's just like every other platform, every other company. Amazon KDP is a business. Coca-Cola is still advertising on platforms. Google itself is advertising on Facebook, is advertising on YouTube. Or every major company leverages ads to reach more people, right? Because for the fact that you're online today doesn't mean that everybody's online. There's somebody that will maybe get of age. Somebody can get to up to 18 years tomorrow, and that is when their parents decides to buy them phone. And if there are tools that are or services that are targeted for 18-year-olds and he's seeing it for the first time, you're likely to sign that customer there and then than people who don't run ads and are dependent on organic. So you sell your books on organic reach, but then you also have to leverage if you're making money from it, you reinvest in it and you leverage ads to make more money. Ads is like giving you assurance that your book is going to get seen because if somebody searches for a particular topic, regardless of sometimes if the book has like 29,000, if the book has 29,000 reviews, it has sold tens and tens of thousands of copies because not everybody reviews what they read. So you can have that leverage of not having any, just like if you publish it now, you don't have any sales, or maybe after 1 week you publish an ad, you see that you have the same space with the big players, even though you are paying for it. But the good thing is, as more people are clicking on it and buying it, with time you can switch off the ads. But now you've gained momentum on the platform. The clicks has made these people know that okay, these people are not just clicking; they are buying. That is because this book is good. And then if you're getting reviews, sweet. So also leverage on ads is one of the things I taught in my course, and it's one of the things you want to leverage as you're growing. Reinvest. If you just want to eat all you make, you're going to be in a particular, you're going to constrain yourself to a particular level that okay, this is like a benchmark. When you go like this, when your earning goes like this, and then because as you're there publishing something on this topic, someone else somewhere, not someone else, like 1,000 other people somewhere are writing on that same topic, right? So once you publish, there are other people publishing on that same topic. So there is competition. And how you stay on top competition is to always optimize and reinvest in the arts of your books. So that is the thing I have for this session. And then the last one is scaling strategies. There are type of things that you need to do. I don't know how many people does it, but then one book can be translated into different languages and you will have millions of other customers buying that same book in other languages. So we know that the main customer are the United States, but then how about people in other countries like France, like Spain, who don't really understand or can read English, but they want, because Amazon is, if you go to Amazon from Spain, by the way, I'm planning on going to Spain soon because every year I go to different countries for holidays. But if you go to Spain and you load Amazon and you want it to, you can translate it to Spanish, right? So all the content that is showing on Amazon will be Spanish. That is the same thing if you go to China, you can translate the language. You don't even have to go there. You can actually, I think you can go to settings and change the language of how you see the content. You can change it to different languages. So if somebody is in Spain and doesn't speak English, just speaks Spanish, and then wants to buy a book on self-help or buy a book on losing weight and types that thing in Spanish, you need to also come up. Even though you have that book in English, you need to also translate it in different languages. And you can use, there are so many platforms that you can use to do this where you pay them a particular fee. And some of them don't even take money. Some of them want a particular percent of your royalties every month. So if you make like 3,000 and you guys agreed on a particular percent, probably is going to take 300 and you go home with like 2,700, which is like a good deal. So it depends on what you want, but translate your book into different other languages and you're going to expand your reach and make more money. And also, personally, this is what I'm trying now, and I haven't found much success in it, but that is one thing about learning. I just keep learning, and then when I find something that works for me personally, I'm going to also try to teach it. But Audible is a big platform right from time, right? And if you convert your book to audio, there are so many voiceover AIs that you can use these days, and then there are many people who offer those services too. But if you can convert your book to AI and to you and upload that same book to Audible, you have, I think people make more money with Audible than even paperbacks, to be honest. And that is one thing I'm venturing into these days to see. I'm obviously I'm not going to sit down for hours and read the book that I published to convert it to audio. There are AI services that I can use, and there are also English people that have that as offered services. If you go to Fiverr of Upwork, you can see somebody who can charge you probably say $30 or £30 per some words, say £30 per 200 words that they read. So that is also something that you can consider. And then build audience via Facebook groups, email lists. One of the things that you can also do is if you publish a particular book, publish a workbook. So in your book, you can put that at the end that there is a workbook for this and they can get it by clicking this link. And then that is something that is frowned upon by Amazon if you put a link in your book. But then you can also add it somewhere that they can get this. People put links all the time. So they can, when they click the link or when they visit the link, they can download that workbook. But before they download it, they have to enter their email and then you send the book to their email and then they get it. So now you're building your list. When you launch a new book, you send out to your list that there's a book available. This is what it does. It's going to be just marketing basically. So you're building your audience, you're having repeat customers because that is a very good strategy. And the people also have Facebook groups where they gather people and then they talk about a particular topic. Because there's a book I saw sometime. The author has is a series. You also have the opportunity of choosing if you're publishing a series when you're publishing on Amazon. But then there is this woman. She has 60 book series. So imagine somebody buying series one, two, three, up to 60. That is one person being a customer 60 times. So that is also what I'm talking about. You can also do series, you can build your Facebook groups, you can do email lists, and then consistency. This is not a scheme that you rush in, pack money, and rush out. This is a business, and you need to treat it as such. If you want to come and make quick money, I think there are other things that you are better off doing or you're better off finding to do because sometimes, even when you follow what is being taught, sometimes is about personal experience. So you could do this way and not find success. But then when you consistently try it, you see that even your old ones will start picking up speed. But when you do it for a small amount of time and then you just decided from nowhere that this is not for you, by all means, that's probably not for you. But consistency is very, very important because I don't know how many years I've been doing this now, and I'm not complaining, right? I'm not complaining. I like the life it creates for the people that I teach it, and then I like the life that it's creating for me. And I mean, most of today, what I've done today is just sit down in one place, have GT on the screen, and I can't be bothered, right? And I love that people find the value in what I share and in what I teach them rather than looking at my lifestyle, because my lifestyle is non-existent. I can tell you it's non-existent. If you're looking to see me in a Rolls Royce, by the way, I used that a while ago, some time ago. If you're looking for me in a Rolls Royce or in a Lamborghini, you're probably not going to see me there. And one of my plans this year is I have to get a Schengen visa. I have to go from Spain to Germany. I need to try the autobahn road, and I need to hire a speed car. But if I'm doing those activities, I'm not pulling out my camera. It doesn't mean I don't have that type of life. And sometimes when people follow those people with that lifestyle, and then when they get into what they're doing and they see that this is crappy, and sometimes they look for something free. But I can tell you that if something is free, you are the commodity. And some people are saying, if you're making so much money, why are you selling courses? Well, you went to school and you paid school fees. And we need to also maximize sources of income, right? It doesn't have to come in one place. The amount of money that I spend, let's say if I come back to Nigeria now, the amount of money I spend in a month will not equate the amount of money that I spend when I come back to the UK. Even though I make money in pounds and opposed to somebody that make money in naira, it's still not different. It's still very different because in Nigeria, most people pay rent in a year. Here, you pay it monthly, and the amount you pay monthly is like 5 years to 10 years rent that you pay back in Nigeria. And everything here is monetized. The lights, the water. In Nigeria, you can have a pump, you can have a borehole, and it serves you water for forever. But here, you can't dig anywhere. So you get to pay for every single thing. Every single thing. Or nobody's going to force you. It's not like NEPA is going to come and cut off your light. They'll just switch you off from somewhere. I don't know. But if you consistently do something, you're going to find a success with it. And that is also where you need guideline. And that guideline comes from courses, and it comes from people who have done it and have seen amount of success, coached other people. And I said, there's something I'm planning. It's just that I don't really have a lot of grant time, sincerely, but there's something I'm planning. I'm trying to start what is called KDP Clinic. So this KDP Clinic will make me come together with students and review their topics, review their books, give them constructive feedback as much as I can in one session. So that is something I'm working on putting together because I actually have a team and I have people who are helping me on the background to make sure that things are flowing well. But this is a very good business that if you're looking for something that is free to start in 2025, this is actually one of the best options that you have because Amazon KDP is free, right? Nobody's charging you to use the platform. Amazon KDP doesn't ask you to come to a particular location. You can use your phone. Like my course is Amazon KDP for all devices, right? What this means is if you have a phone, just your smart devices, you be exposed to tools, you be exposed to methods that you can also use to publish with your mobile phone. If you have a tablet, you're exposed to tools that you can use. And the mobile phone, smartphone that I'm talking about is not limited to like Android, you can still have tools that you can use. If you have iOS, you are still exposed to tools that you have. If you have a laptop, that is the sweetest part, right? So I'm not, I can't remember the last time I asked somebody to buy my course, honestly. I sincerely cannot remember. And I don't think it's something that I find fun to do. I mostly find fun in editing the course and putting in materials that I know is going to make the life of people who are using it easier. And every day when new tools are emerging, I need to try it. I need to see how it is. I need to, like this Claude AI, I've not actually included it in my course, but then it's something that I will need to find out so many information, because when I want to teach about one thing, I need to find it in a way to put it in a wholesome method so that you can use it for a variety of reasons, not just for one thing, right? So it's something that is consistently changing. It's something that is like few years ago, AI is not a big deal as it is now, right? So now it's changing the game. Even Amazon has recognized it. So if you're publishing, you need to declare if this is AI or this is not AI. And if you're just if you use minimal AI and something of that sort. But if you're looking to fast forward, if you're looking to cut time, if you're looking to trade time for money, getting Amazon KDP for all devices will be one of the things that you need to invest in. Like I said, these are one of the things that you need money for, because if you say you don't have money, you have to look at your expenses and see if is this something that I should have done? Is this something I should have put my money in? And one of the things about Amazon KDP for all devices is you're not paying for something monthly. This is something that you pay for once. And the people that bought this course years ago, all the updates that have been done on it, they are not asked to pay twice. They are getting access to all the updates free of charge, right? So, and we also have a support group where we have people together helping each other to grow. And that is one of the things I love about our community. So, if you're looking to dive properly into Amazon KDP and find all the tools, all the ways to make your life easier, and because all the things I taught, I was mostly theoretical, yeah, but I like to show things on the screen. So that is what I did throughout the course. I think I don't think anybody even saw my face in that course recording, but almost all the things that I did, I showed my screen how to uh, open your account the right way, because so many people struggle with opening of account the right way. Opening it the right way is also one of the things that help you with exposure on the platform. How to verify your account, how to open a dollar account, how to put those things and answer tax questions, how to do research. There are so many tools that I taught in my course that I didn't mention here, which you also use your mobile phones for. Tools for title research, tools for niche research, tools for scraping, even tools for formatting that I didn't mention here. You also get, and most of these tools, I try as much as possible to bring premium tools that are free. And also, there are also ones that if you're someone like me, you can also invest in and say, okay, this is going to make my life much more easier. And then you incorporate it in your business, because this is a business. So I am really, really grateful that Digitstem is bringing people who are skilled in some aspects of life to come and teach this things, because I can't remember the last time I had a webinar, to be honest. And I am very happy because I still have the opportunity. I don't know, but sometimes when I start talking about some of this, this is like the tip of the iceberg, right? If I want to take 5 hours talking about Amazon KDP, it's still not going to be enough for me to unload the things that you need to know about it. But that's not to scare you, because I know so many people who are always about watching, listening, but not about doing. The money you're going to make on Amazon KDP is not in you watching courses, it's not in you watching videos, it's in you actually sitting down and doing what you're supposed to do to make that bag, right? So you need to make money, and the money is in doing, not in watching videos. If you watch videos, just implement. Because there are people who are stuck in cycles. They will buy this course, they will buy this course, they will buy this course. You're you're actually scared of, you don't want to say it to yourself, but you're actually scared of doing what's required. You are more comfortable watching, seeing figures, seeing these people earning, see you're smiling that I'm going to make this money. But then after you watch this video, you want to switch to another video, you want to switch to another video, you want to buy a different course, you want to waste time on YouTube, you want to waste, and then you find yourself doing this thing for years without doing a single thing. I'm sure there are people who bought this course when it came out, and then they saw maybe the first section, and then a friend of them told them that there is this Chinese kilo is crypto is, and then they started learning trading, and then when they maybe lost $50 or so, they had to try maybe copywriting, and then they saw that they have to write and fold paper and throw away, fold paper and throw away. Say, nah, this is not for me. They had to try affiliate marketing. They say, I don't like talking to people. And then they had to try. So they just keep jumping like a frog, jumping like a frog. And you see that in the long run is a total waste of time. But I really love that I have the opportunity to come here tonight and share this, and I really am also grateful to Digitstem. Digitstem is one of the platforms that I also love to use. I don't know how much I've made on Digitstem, but that is personally I don't like calling figures, but I have made a decent on Digitstem, even though I don't think earlier enough when I launched. I think maybe a few years after I launched. And yeah, but that is, I hope somebody learned something today. I hope somebody took something today, and I hope people who are going to be watching this video in the future are going to watch it and get down to work, because the work is the main thing. Watching the video is one thing, and implementing is another thing. And I'm not a social media person, so like I said, my inbox is clogged up on Facebook, on TikTok, and stuff. But if you message on WhatsApp, I can provide like a guideline and stuff. So you can also chat on WhatsApp if you have any confusion in your journey. I also love to help. If there is something you would like me to make a video of, like to teach, I'm trying to push out more videos these days, and but managing different businesses at the same time can be tough. So I try to share as much time as I can, and we are trying to be the first, not first, we are trying to be one of the agencies in the UK that manages the most websites for small businesses. So we are working 247, and it's just tough sharing times across different things. But I love to also help in anywhere I can. So if you have any questions, I'd love to take your questions now if the question is now, but if you have questions later, I'll also be glad to provide that. Thank you very much. Are you still there? I don't know if I bored
Welcome.
Digital to
What's
sleep.
next?
Okay, she's awake.
No, 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 no. I'm not asleep. I've been listening and paying attention. I'm so sorry. I couldn't unmute myself faster. All right. Thank you so, so much. This is like, it's a course on its own. It's a full 2 hour session. And because I think this is like a very, all while you were teaching, doing the presentation, I'm like, if you want to convert somebody, one person to buy this Amazon KDP course for all devices, Amazon KDP for all devices, just send this person this, send the person this YouTube video, and you're going to convert the person because everything so far has been. In fact, this is very, very detailed. Imagine if this is just free. Oh. Imagine what will be in the call. That's exactly what will be running through the mind of your customer. Thank you very much, Mr. Sylvester, very comprehensive for this very comprehensive session. All right. Without wasting so much more of our time, of course, we didn't waste time here. We don't stay too long here anymore. I just want to say thank
Yeah.
you very much, Mr. Sylvester, once again, and thank you so much, guys. So, you out your WhatsApp number. Did you do that or
So there is something I'm
can
planning
you
to
hear me?
do. So I'm planning. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
So there is
Do you
something
want to
I'm
do it
planning
now?
to do. Um, I'm
Okay.
not sure if which one to give because I don't know if I should give out my UK one because I'm planning to take this experiment that I want to do. So I'm planning to take a new whole students for a different reason but for Amazon KDP, which they're going to be with
Okay.
me on a different number for some type of different experiment. So I don't know if I should give out my UK number. I should give out my Nigerian one. Um,
Anyone?
so just give me 1 second. I think I'll just give them the Airtel one. Yeah. No. Well, I don't think it actually matters. So I'll just give out the
I'm back.
UK
Sorry.
one. But
Okay. Okay.
the number is. Do I still know my number? Plus 44 7956 596609. So it's plus 44 7956 596609. But they also have to
Okay.
bear with me if the response is slow because my inbox can get crazy sometimes. I just hope they understand that.
Well, they should. All right,
I don't know if I should type it in
guys.
the
So that
chat.
yes, please, if you can, please do.
So I think maybe I don't know if I also have the permission to when you upload when the video gets to the channel, I can actually download it. Yeah, is that something I can do? Did you hear what I said?
I heard what you said. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm asking if it's something I can download when it comes like on the channel.
Yes, you can. Hear me, please.
Okay,
Hello.
okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
You can download it.
Okay, no
You
problem.
can,
Thank you.
please. You can. You're free to. All right. So, thank you once again for this amazing session. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Digitstem. Follow us on Instagram at Digitstem underscore. Follow us on Facebook at Digitstem as well. I will see you guys next week, Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. with a different profession. Next week is our 30th episode. As much as possible, it's going to be very, very special. We're going to bring somebody very, very special. You don't want to miss it. Okay? Good night, guys.
All right, have a good night.